Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be finding out what happens if Arthur goes back to the doctor after being diagnosed with tuberculosis. So I don't know if you guys know this, but you only interact with the doctor in Red Dead Redemption 2 in two different occasions. The first is in a mission that we'll get to in a little bit in Chapter 6 called A Fork in the Road. And the other is where you actually bring in a guy who has his arm amputated. It's actually a chance encounter that happens just outside the city of Saint Denis. Well, one of you guys messaged me on my Facebook page and said that I should bring the guy who gets his arm amputated to the doctor after we already visited in Chapter 6. And what happened is something really cool. And we'll be talking about that in this video today. But to set the scene, let's talk about what happens if Arthur visits the doctor. This is what occurs during the mission that everyone has to go to, A Fork in the Road, that occurs at the very end of Chapter 5 or Chapter 6.
Can I help you?
I need a doctor.
Oh, just 1 second, sir.
Come in, pal. Come in.
Mister, I need some help.
And so it seems. And that's Dr. Mister to you?
I'm sorry.
I was joking. Look, friend, I don't mean nothing, but you got money? I mean, before I start treating you, 'cause I got a family.
Yeah, I understand. Here, that do.
Sure. Thank you. Now, what's wrong? I mean, what appear to be the symptoms?
Well, I think you've heard them. I'm coughing.
Is there any blood?
Sometimes.
Okay, now here. Breathe. Again. Yeah. Let me see your tongue. Now say ah.
Ah. What is it?
It's not good news.
I guess that.
You got tuberculosis. Really sorry for you, son. It's a hell of a thing.
What do you mean?
You're real sick. It's a progressive disease, and you'll be... Now, the best thing is rest, and getting somewhere warm and dry and taking it easy. Now, is that possible?
Sure, I can just take my winters in my country club in California. No, it's not possible.
Well, like I said, I'm real sorry.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, wait. Let me get you a little bit more energy today.
Okay, so we've met the doctor. That is the only time in which we technically have to meet him. However, you can actually bring a guy who falls off his horse, looks like he got his arm bit or infected or whatever the case is. You can bring him to the doctor. And if you do so, this is what happens. And this is the encounter that occurs if you bring the guy to the doctor like well before Arthur is diagnosed with tuberculosis.
This isn't worth the hassle.
Oh, good God. Quickly, bring him in here. Right here. Sit him down in this chair.
What happened? Just saw you fall out of the saddle. Don't worry, you're at the doctor. Thanks, friend. I appreciate it. Sure.
There's also the matter of my payment. But we'll deal with that later.
All right.
A lot of blood loss. And this wound's badly infected. I'll save as much as I can, but I'll have to amputate.
What? What did you say?
Just try to breathe. I'll give you something for the pain.
No.
There you are. That'll knock him out for a while. You did a good thing bringing him here. But now, I'd recommend moving along. You do not want to see this. Well, you're in a bad way. But you'll pull through.
That was good work, Doctor.
He's lucky. Wounds like that'll kill you if you aren't careful. He's lucky he just lost the arm. It's nice of you to stay, but don't fret. He'll make it.
Okay, so now that the scene has been set, let's flash forward a little bit. And you can see that we have now run into the guy once again who ultimately falls off the horse and needs a doctor. Now, the important part about this encounter is you can see that I am already well into chapter 6. So by this point, Arthur has been diagnosed with tuberculosis and he has already visited the doctor. And the first time I was actually doing this, I was riding a little bit too fast through the city of Saint Denis and I hit like, I think like a box on the side of the road and I go flying off, this guy goes flying off, and I end up killing him, and now I'm wanted for murder. So things were not off to a great start, but what I did is I reloaded my save, and I was able to find him again, and this time I brought him to the doctor, and upon visiting, this is what occurred.
Oh, good God. Quickly, bring him in here. Set him down on this chair. Oh, it's you. You should not be doing all this. Anyway, there's no time. Hurry, please. I'll give you something for the pain.
No.
There you are. And on. Took him out for a while. You did a good thing bringing him here, and in your condition. But I'd suggest you go rest now. This won't be pleasant. It's nice of you to stay, but don't fret. He'll make it.
That man was nearly gone. I'm impressed.
I'm more impressed with you, friend. If I were you, I wouldn't be able to straddle a horse, much less carry a man on it. Come now. Let's let him rest. All we can do now is hope for the best.
Okay, that was pretty awesome. We got some really unique lines of dialogue there. The doctor actually remembered us. That was so cool. He was like, oh, it's you. And then he said something along the lines of, you shouldn't be here, you should be resting. Now, at the end of that encounter, what we did is we greeted the doctor. We did the positive outcome. What I want to show you guys now is the antagonistic routes. There's actually 2 antagonistic lines of dialogue that you can have with the doctor after he's done amputating this guy's arm. So I'll show you guys what happens if you do that right now.
Glad that didn't happen to me in here. Jesus.
True. Now, how are you anyway?
I'm okay. Don't you try to doctor me now. I'm doing just fine.
I'm glad to hear it. But you need to take care of yourself.
I'm taking care of myself just fine. I didn't come here for me.
All right. All right, I understand. You be well.
Glad that didn't happen to me in here. Jesus.
True. Now, how are you anyway?
Sorry, Doc. I guess I'm just tired is all.
That's all right, friend. You take care of yourself.
So how awesome was that? We got some really unique lines of dialogue that the doctor ultimately has with Arthur if you visit him a second time after going to him in chapter 5 or chapter 6 when Arthur is diagnosed with tuberculosis. That's really cool. It goes to show you that Rockstar literally thought of everything right here. Because it's really unique, the lines of dialogue. Like, it's not just reused. The doctor recognizes us and much more. Now, if you guys are curious as to what happens to our friend here who gets his arm amputated, he actually gets hanged a couple of days later, something you might not have known about. Yeah, you'll actually find him in the gallows in Saint Denis, and he gets hung, which is pretty crazy. So if you've never seen that encounter before, this is what happens a couple of days later.
You're about to witness true justice in action.
Crack his damn neck. He deserves worse. But this
Oh,
is
you and a beautiful young
remember
lady
me, friend?
ridicule your
Help me out
disfigurement.
again. Would
You murdered her in cold blood. For your awful vanity and pride, you will pay.
You'll pay all right. He still died ugly as you live.
It's you!
Any last words before
What
the
the
noose?
hell did you
That
do?
ugly bitch deserved what she got. She deserved it.
Seems ironic, huh?
Pull.
There he goes. I heard the neck snap. Damn.
Cruel and abhorrent behavior will not stand in this country.
See his legs twitching.
Justice won this battle, but the war is far from over. Heed these words.
Bravo! Kinda makes me hungry watching that.
I know what you mean. Gets the blood boiling. Makes me feel alive.
Exactly. I could go for some crawfish.
So I thought this was a really cool experiment to try, and the net result was that we got some really cool hidden lines of dialogue that many of you probably have never experienced before. Now, I tried a couple of other experiments as well, like what happens if you shoot the guy after he gets his arm amputated. Well, he ends up getting killed, and obviously the doctor ends up freaking out, and the law ends up getting put on you. So I tried a couple of other experiments like that, none that seemed to be all that exciting for the most part. But anyways, that is what happens if Arthur goes back to the doctor after being diagnosed with tuberculosis in Red Dead Redemption 2. As always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there on what you think, and if you know of any more hidden lines of dialogues or secret encounters, you can let me know on my Facebook page, which I'll have a link to in the description as well. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.